So everyone, have you seen the change in the schedule? Yes. The next class is on 18th. So students, major announcement for this batch, the current batch. So I keep on getting queries about how to continue, and people who are completing paper 1 and paper 2. Yes, for them how to continue and how to take all this momentum which we have. How would this momentum be taken for the examination? So an announcement for that has to happen. Other thing is that it is also about the new batch. So when we are taking a transition from an old batch to a new batch, I keep on getting messages every now and then. Let's say, should I watch the previous foundation, new foundation? So I have to answer that also. So we had scheduled 3 classes more. So today is 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. So let's see what is the scheme of things. Today is 14th of September. Today is 14th September. Get that? So today is the class, and 18th September, 15, 16, 17, 18th September, we have the course completion. Everyone with me on this? So we'll be left with classes of 15th, 16th, and 17th, 3 days. Now these classes have been shifted here. 19th, 20, 21st September, there is a shift. Get that? So last 3 classes, there is some work to be done in this, some homework here. Some homework I'm giving for 3 days. Now I can see that many of you have been consistent with your assignments. Consistency, and second is performance. Students who have been consistent and who have shown performance in the whole course. Get that? Especially paper 2, many of you joined in paper 2. So they would earn a special support. So they would earn a special support whether your subscription stays or not. So you'll be invited into a select group of people who will be working with me, in their geography preparation. So your targeted preparation will continue. So you already know there is a MMP going on. Yes. Apart from MMP is Master Stroke Mentorship Program is for GS only. But this will be the geography mentorship. So there's a selection criteria for that. And only 2 criteria: consistency and your performance. Your performance is through your answer writing, what you have been doing, and consistency is your assignment submission. Okay, that people who are listening to me in recording also, you can also be a part of this select group, provided you have maintained the consistency and performance. See, many people joined us in the course, and I'm very, very sure you know that many people have this wish. So one is wishful thinking, wish or intention. That has to be supported with action. So I think most applicants who are writing this examination, they fill up the form, they have a wish or intention to clear the exam. But these applicants become aspirants when they show action. Get that? So these are serious students. I'm sure you would have seen many names which flashed up at the beginning of the course. Many people who talked, yes, we will do this and that. You would gradually see that they filtered out. True. So there are people who backed with action, a lot of work, and I can actually see a lot of improvement happening. I'm very sure in your assignments, people who participated, you completed the book. Book bhi काफी हद तक हो गई होगी. I'm sure 70% of the book is done. The fear is also gone. True or not? I'm sure that your syllabus has been covered in the class, and you've supported it with your home assignment, and they all have been aligned in that. Is everyone okay? ये भी हो चुका है. और आपने देखा है कि we are also learning the techniques of answer writing. These last classes are for those only. You've also got some breakthrough sessions. Yes or no? You have seen that my lectures in the last topic have changed a bit. They are more discussion oriented. They are more questioning. They are more making you write down. They are more making you think. True or not? Why? Because I believe that the students have matured and now they can take on these challenging areas. You would have seen I'm bringing real questions. I'm bringing tough, challenging areas. And I'm very sure that some of you remember some person who said, sir, time waste hota hai mera. I hope at the end of the course you are understanding that time waste nahi hota. This is where capacity building is happening. This is what will matter. It is not that what book you read, what coaching you did, which teacher told you what. It is about, are you able to do justice to what is asked? Yes. So your comprehension, your skills like comprehension. Comprehension means understanding of the subject. Comprehension. Your ability to read, reading ability, your thinking ability. Yes. Your processing or analysis ability. And finally, your writing ability. This was the intention of the course right from the first class, which is called the foundation course. I hope you've seen that I've been pushing you for a all-round thing. It is not just syllabus coverage. We added a lot of breakthroughs to that. We added the book reading also. Some of you resisted. Some of you did that, under my duress. I broke it down into small little topics, but you were doing that. That's amazing. So I'm looking at people who have made a jump from applicants to aspirants. They should be supported. They should be supported to the extent that they start bringing results. Do we get that? So for that, I will make some announcements on the 18th of September, where we are completing the course. We will make some announcements on that. We can create some special group which will be working on, your own answer writing, your own content generation. Yes. Ajit बोल रहे सर आपने मेरा 3-4 assignment नहीं देखा जी. Don't worry. 15, 16, 17. This is an opportunity for people who have not submitted their assignment also. They can also do that. I want to give a fair chance to everyone. So Ajit, it is not finalized. Do you get that? So I'll make a list of those students and they would directly interact with me. There will be a direct one-to-one teacher contact. See, many people keep sending me, sir, I am doing this. Sir, can you advise me how to approach? Sir, can you tell me what all questions should I write? What should I think and all those things? So for everyone, we can't do. But people who have shown that level of commitment, that is there. And I'm not saying that others who have not shown, they are any less. But the fact is, right now in this course, probably your priorities were not exactly zeroed on only on the course. Do we get that? And with Unacademy, you have the advantage. You have the advantage of the recordings. So you can look at your recordings also. But again, as I said, many people keep on sending me message, sir, I am doing the course on recording, and would you please check my assignment? So always remember, my current batch is my top priority. And at the same time, apart from that, the select batch which I work with, the select students which I work with, they are my top priority. Now that selection is nothing. There is no this thing, no subjectivity in that. If you have performed, you have been consistent in your assignment submission, and your answers show that you have these qualities of comprehension, reading, thinking, processing, and writing. Maybe at an elementary stage, I would like to upgrade that. Yes, we work extensively on Indian geography through maps also in these special groups that I create. So we will be working on that. Is everyone with me on this? So this is why you have these 3 days, 15, 16, 17. Another thing which I want to make an announcement, people who are joining in late, that there are some topics which were left. So I don't want that the course lectures are over and some topics are left. So most of them I have covered. You told me something about agriculture is left. One topic is left. So can you please post that to me? So people who are listening to me, yes, can you please submit your assignments and answers so that I can have a look at that? And second thing is topics left out. So that at the end of the course, you feel comfortable, confident, which we can take in 19, 20, and 21st. Is everyone okay? So 18 September will be more about, some strategy for how to do the continued learning, some tips on that. It will also be about the announcement for people who are going to be in those, special select group, which I would want to create. Get that? So this is going to be there. Is everyone with me on this? So that is what 18th is about, 19, 20, 21st is about all the topics completion so that your syllabus, nothing is left. And I'm very sure that I have kept you as partners in this examination preparation. So I always go by the syllabus. So syllabus आपके पास भी रहता है. So it is not that the teacher decides जो पढ़ाना है पढ़ा दो, and then student when he reaches the main examination, then he realizes this topic though I have no idea about, no discussion on that. That should not happen. So the idea is you have the syllabus in front of you. I have the syllabus. We work on that. Do we have the ability to address all those things? So that is what we are going to do. Is everyone okay? So this was the announcement for the students participating in live as well as recorded sessions. Let me upload today's slide. I think we were talking about industrial unrest and agrarian unrest today. Okay, baat karni? Perfect. The A to Z course is beginning on the 7th of October. So there also we would be integrating a lot of things. So people who have joined me from paper 2, you will see a lot of things working over there. Tsunami bhi aa jaoga, don't worry. We'll be working on unrest and tsunami today. Get it? So I want to go through the whole syllabus. So that is one request to all of you. मजे से syllabus देखिए. ठीक है, कुछ चीजें हमने homework में की हैं, कुछ चीजें हमने class में की हैं. But if there are certain things which you feel here I cannot do, and sir, this is very difficult. So please let me know. We will include that. Now in this, I found this strange topic called development in communication and information technology and their impact on economy and society. You can see, मतलब geography के syllabus में कुछ भी डालते हैं, कुछ भी मतलब कुछ भी डाल सकते हैं. Even Indian space program पे भी doesn't make sense, but current affairs से वो किया जाता है. ठीक है? So I want to tell you that we should learn to use and deploy all the techniques that we have. We should learn and use all the techniques that we have developed of brainstorming, of thinking, linking, and map making to get that. Okay? So if I say you have to think on development in information communication and information technology and their impact on economy and society, can you think of something right now? Why you are blank? नमन से सर 5G आ गया. So नमन ये तो कुछ हाई पॉइंट्स हो गए ना. 5G आ गया है, टावर हो गया है, ये वो. I hope development should be, and we are looking at economy and society. So think under some headings if we can quickly, everyone, if we can. Perfect. What else? What else? Some headings, no? Cashless economy, financial, rural, IT cities. Good. Internet of Things. I understand. Everything good. Good, 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 good. Digital currency, cyber safety. Perfect. Everyone, good, good, good. Now, can you see that in the course, our intention has been to generate this capacity. And tell me, this capacity, will it also help in GS? Like fear of writing, fear of thinking, means आएगा तो क्या होगा? Before even going to mains, does the course push it? True. So एक टेस्ट करें. Agrarian unrest class based movement तो आज करेंगे हम. एक क्वेश्चन मैं आपके लिए लाया हूं. This is a full length test. अब ऐसा तो नहीं पूछेगा ना, they will not ask write a short note on what? Write a short note on क्या बोलते हैं? Information technology. They will relate it to something. So do you get this question? In the context of COVID-19 pandemic, examine and evaluate the contribution of information technology and communication and its future implications on regional development. Make sense? Now, if I do this, everyone, if I do this answer, do I really prepare for this topic? Development in communication and information technology and the impact on economy and society. Okay? I want everyone to try this. And then we will talk. Okay, chal. So again, one more day of thinking and linking, and I'll explain you. Don't worry. Agrarian unrest, industrial unrest, all that I will explain you. But that will come after this. Like, so this is a full answer. Full answer. Exam में कितने page मिलेंगे? You'll get 4 pages. So everyone, take it as a challenge. Take it as a challenge, and how we can see things happening in this. Get that full answer. So it is 15:23. 10 minutes. 12 there on it. आपको. So 23, 25, 35. Okay. 12 minutes. Shall we start? And then we look at the answer also. First, look at it. Examine. Examine means what? Why? How? In COVID times, contribution of IT. Contribution. Then evaluate. Of what is the significance? Did it really work? Was it worth it? Did we really do it well? Yes or no? And its future implications. And its future implications on regional development. So think about the spatial part also. How people used it. Of pandemic. True. And yesterday's class, we talked about hazards. We talked about vulnerabilities. we talked about risk reduction. True or not? When I give you this question, I do think that, like in the context of pandemic, it was not just that give me in general the information technology communication significance. Is everyone okay? It has to be there. So there were many aspects associated with it. Yes or no? The hazard was the spread of the virulence of the strains. True. Containment of people. Yes. And at the same time, reaching out to the people for medical aid. True. All those things were there. And if you remember the disaster management cycle also, pre-disaster, post-disaster. Yes. So it may not have been able to give us, all those things that we were able to avoid that disaster, but post-disaster, what do we have to? We have to deal with the disaster, recover, relief, and above all, mitigate. Everyone, when I start thinking like this, am I going to give the answer more technical things or not? So many of you have thought that brainstorming is about some points such as TK, information technology. से क्या होता है? Information technology gave us Arogya Setu. Remember, yesterday some people were saying it gave us Arogya Setu. I'm saying it's not about Arogya Setu. It is about real-time monitoring of the disease and its spatial spread, both quantitative and spatial spread. It helped us monitor the trends. It also acted as a very important feedback loop to our action. True or not? So it's not about writing Arogya Setu. Yes. When we are talking about COVID platform, true. We are also monitoring the vaccination program. When we are monitoring. So again, Ambuj, I would not say that in the answer we have to give Arogya Setu or COVID. Arogya Setu and COVID will come somewhere in the box item. Some of the initiatives. But the focus has been, the argument has been that real-time monitoring didn't help us in not only dealing with it but also mitigating. True. So that's important. That's what we are talking about. मुझे ये भी लगता है कि the movement of migrants. What kind of inventories do we have to make? Inventories are कितना stock रखना है, and where locations where we can create some, like some places where people can be there. Yes or no? So very, very important. कहाँ पर उनके लिए shelter बनाया जा सकता है? Temporary shelters. Yes. Which unfortunately, can I say, missed due to lack of ICT planning, ICT-based planning. Yes or no? It was missing over there. So in evaluation, wherever we had the support of ICT, we were able to give the results in precision. But when we did not, when we went for this thing, okay, कल से ये हो जाएगा, बंद हो जाएगा, सब लोग 8:08 पे बजाएंगे. True. That I think, that could have been a much better. In fact, for that matter, even we see our economy does see, a lot of impacts of demonetizations also. Something which is announced without the use of ICT. Yes, ICT can be there. Tell me one more thing. So why are we talking only about internet? Tell me about a sanitizer where you don't have to touch it. A sanitizer with those sensors. Use of sensors. Sensor-based quarantine. Yes, a lot of testing requires IT-based things. Medical robots. Yes or no? So information technology and communication also. So we are looking at, even that also we are looking at that how that can be there. True. What else? मुझे ये भी लगता है कि जो education and other services which were blocked due to events of lockdown. And question is on economy now. So how did it impact the economy also? So economy kept working. People kept the gig economy. You can talk about edtech, you can talk about fintech, you can talk about so many things. And I also want to tell you the learning that continued, e-learning, e-schooling, online teaching. Yes, when we are evaluating it to a large extent, it was good, but there were certain evils also. Can we say that? People, it was, like बाहर नहीं जाते तो those are things also. मुझे तो ये भी लगता है ICT में बहुत सारा investment भी आया जो नमन बोल रहे. Investment also came, so in form of FDI. So nice startups भी आए. True or not? And can I say, if you are looking at evaluate, can I say that it has had an indelible impact? अब वापस नहीं जा सकते आप. Emotional support during isolation. Whatever happened, all those things, now the whole concept of office has changed or not? Whole concept of office and many things have changed. Is everyone with me on this? So these are certain things, which I can see for sure. मुझे society में एक लगता है social capital. It helped in developing social capital. In fact, in crisis, when the governments failed, when the institutions failed, government institutions were not being able to do that, people came out through these campaigns and they came to support each other. Yes or no? Those shortage of, like medicines, remdesivir, injections, blood, or oxygen, and all those things, people came out. Yes or no? Information technology kept the world connected. It kept the world connected. It kept giving hope to the people. It also kept giving hope to the people. Yes or no? इसको geography कैसे करें? How do we make it geography? And remember regional development also. How do we make it geography? Spatial, so how do we give spatial examples? In fact, I can say that it is the lack of it, evaluate, no, lack of information technology, lack of internet penetration that brought a urban-rural divide, true or not? It brought a rural-urban divide, so that is geographical, true or not? Can I say places where skilled manpower was there, they were able to, so haves and have-nots, there is a distinction between rich and poor. Can I say haves and have-nots? Can I say it was more successful for service-based industries than production? Again, bringing those questions. So I'm saying if you are able to bring geography, तभी तो वो काम आएगा. Otherwise, it will not work. Okay? And if we start thinking, it will not end. So I want to give the content. We have already talked about the content through an answer. देखिए एक answer, everyone. Because if I ask you to submit, तुम लोग submit करोगे नहीं. Because अब इतना आता नहीं है, that's okay. There are people who are writing. So can we have a look at an answer? You'll get the content also in this, and how to process the content also. Can you see the look of the answer? 2 maps, page 1. First, this the look. Introduction, heading, and the look. Next page, the look. Looks like a geography answer. Yes. Can we also see the use of headings? I mean, this is what we do in those advanced groups. The advanced group which I wish to create. But then, we can't have, students whose preparation or, other things are a little on the lower side. So we have to maintain that. So first is examination of the contribution. Second is the evaluation of ICT. Problems and map on all pages. True or not? And finally, what do we have? Regional planning. Should we read it? So looks like a good answer. Disclaimer. Maybe you might say, "Itna acha nahi." You have tried it. See, it can be, like just tell you the topic. Okay, you think for 1 minute. Let me give you the answer. See, all of us can think. How are we going to write it? You gave some effort, and now we'll see someone writing this. COVID-19 pandemic created havoc and complex problems related to health, economic, and migration, disruptive of services, along with individual impact. So मुझे लगता है यहाँ पे hazard और disaster वाला एक introduction would have been better. The contribution to communication and information technology (ICT) has immensely contributed towards tackling the issue. Get that? This can be examined. So how has it worked? How has it worked? How has it worked? Sanitation of the cities, can I say that? The use of automated sanitizers, improved sanitation, especially in urban centers, yes or no? A lot of, didn't we see, like use of ICT to keep things clean, and the hospitals and other places, were they kept more hygienic after that? So that's the first thing that this person has written. I may not have considered this as my first point, but that's okay. So what is this map about? This map is about delivery of services. So apart from what has happened, delivery of health services, online bookings of medical services, and home testing was there. And you can see tele-education in backward areas. So the person has tried to bring in tele-education in backward area, telemedicine in inaccessible areas. Yes, awareness was spread and techniques to adopt spread of all these things. Is everyone with me on this? Do we get that? Get that? Next page. Okay, so this is an innovation that we are looking at. Next page. Monitoring spatial pattern analysis and mapping. So how the migrants were moving during COVID, you can see people moving out from Delhi and other areas, Bangalore. So migration patterns were analyzed and essential services were being supplied to them according to this. This helped in regional planning, sustainable settlements through creation of shelter homes and service providers to the migrants. Okay, it generated social capital also. People used to interact, reduce the gap of bridging trust and coordinating amongst people. So I think 3-4 points have been given. I'm sure you have different points. But can you see the person has used the points in a spatial manner? He's used those points. Make sense? You wanted to significance, you can always say, like education and all those things. You can bring in all those things, but that person knew that I'm writing for geography. So that evaluation, let us see how was it evaluated, good or not. So evaluation is benefits. Can I say benefits? Is evaluation whether it's beneficial or not? Decreasing the regional disparity and class divide. The using online health services were available to everyone. Yes or no? True. Accessing the services, improved accessibility of services. So it was not that only rich were able to get that. Rich, poor. Can I say those Arogya Setu or those COVID things? People had to register, and everyone was getting that. True. Regional disparity. All states it was distributed. So how is it? That is also monitoring. Continuous check on temporal pattern and awareness. So through updation of COVID patient figures on website, that how many cases are coming, were they able to update and monitor it, the spread of the epidemic? rather pandemic. This was also a path towards sustainable cities, as the focus was more on cleanliness due to increase of awareness campaigns were used CCTVs and maintain hygiene. So this person has been talking about cleanliness in the cities. But however, if you remember, the true idea of sustainable cities is an IT-based city. True or not? So many things were coming through IT. So I think increased use of IT, that was one thing. Use of CCTVs and other things, definitely that is important. Better monitoring, we've already talked about that. This is a repeat of a point. Modernization of infrastructure, creating of research labs and improving the techniques of genome sequencing, the vaccine development which happened, did it all require or not? So I think the benefits the person has written, but I am not very happy with all the benefits. There could have been more. Everyone, do you have more benefits or not in evaluation? So you can very well do that. So I'm just saying that how an answer is there. So every answer will not have all the points, but the examiner should be satisfied after reading it. What are the problems? Well, regional disparities were increased because of internet accessibility. Yes, different areas. Say, for example, we are talking about 5G coming in to the cities. Is Kashmir also getting 5G? Are border areas getting 5G? Is everyone getting 5G? So can we see a penetration differences there? Yes or no? So I know some of my students from Kashmir, they said, and especially because of the special nature or the change of UT and all those things. So they say, sir, वो 2G भी आ जाता है, बड़ी बात है, download नहीं कर पाते बहुत कुछ. True or not? So that's a big challenge. Regional disparity in both problem and benefit. Well, regional disparity of different things. Regional disparity of different things. Internet accessibility brings regional disparity on different themes, no? So one place we are bringing in regional equality on certain things, but on certain things we are not able to do that. Can it be both the sides of the coin? Widened the class divide. Example, children in urban areas had more access to internet, yes or no? Their education continued. People who were not having internet, who did not have computer, difference or not? True. Psychological impact, spread of fake news. So, well, that was a evil also. People were spreading rumors also, yes. So that is also happening. Impact on economics. So what is the impact on economics? Let us look at that also. Impact on economics. I think economy, the job continued, and especially the service sector. So that is that. So I'm not very happy with the positives and negatives. They could have been more comprehensive. Yes or no? We did talk about many more things. Yes. And again, positives and negatives. Why am I not talking in terms of disaster management? True or not? Was it a positive of experience of disaster management? Was it a positive one or not? Did we realize our flaws, our gaps or not? Flaws are the negative part of it. Would we not talk about that? Did it help in mitigating? Why are we not talking about mitigation? Can I say, but there were flaws in this also? Say, for example, the oxygen cylinder crisis, which we were looking at, the hospital crisis, which we were looking at, suddenly the healthcare is not in that position. Can we talk about that or not? So we're talking about all those things which have to go into this. So preparedness, mitigation, when we are talking about relief and rehab. Relief and rehab, physical, mental, emotional, or psychological also. And I also want to tell you post-stress or post-disease trauma. इसको भी तो deal करना है. Can I say, ICT helped in that also to a large extent? To a large extent, reaching out to the people, but there were so many things which were used together, such tools. I think बहुत सारे बाबाओं के बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम चले इसमें. कैसे? कितने बाबा apps में योगा किया कि नहीं लोगों ने? In fact, I want to tell you amazing things. I want to tell you. Oxford University Press. Oxford University Press. UK से. Full access to all publications. Full free access to all books. I want you to check the price of these books, Oxford University Press books. Full online access. भाई बच्चे नहीं पहुंच पा रहे थे, उन्होंने सबके लिए कर दिया. किया तो UK के लिए था, but सारी दुनिया पहुंच गई. Huge thing. The kind of the way in which the e-learning spread. There is no mention of e-learning in this. Should it be there or not? It totally revolutionized the whole meaning of learning through this. True or not? It is the speed, and it is also the penetration in the remote areas. Penetration in remotest areas. I want to tell you that we need to, even e-courts, yes, definitely. So can I say, we should also, since I'm talking about benefits, everyone, since I'm talking about benefits, if I was writing this, I would have used the headings of short-term benefits and even long-term benefits. I'm okay with this person structuring it, but I would say some of them are short-term benefits, others are long-term benefits. What size is the economy has transformed, many things have transformed, and which should be taken into account. Is everyone with me? Last part of the question was, how would regional development, how would it aid in regional development? From the above evaluation, it can be seen that the multiple future interpretations of regional development are town planning. Town planning ho sakti, slums, suburbs, yes, information technology. And especially when I was looking at, I was giving an example of Dharavi, spread of epidemic. Big challenge or not? Was it a learning? Can we use that? Yes. Reaching out to people, bottom-up planning in town planning. Yes. So that's something which ICT did give us access to. Creation of smart cities, definitely ICTs will be smart cities, so we are looking at that. Disaster resilient approach, yes, disaster resilience. Now this person brings in disaster. Now I would have been talking about disaster and all those things right in the beginning. Provide innovation and entrepreneurship perfectly. So everyone, the answer looks good. Writing the answer is a challenge, true or not? Information to bahut sari. So the person, did he or she try to capture things or not? If you are also doing that, अपने उससे capture करिए. अभी यहाँ पर very easy to comment on this. अच्छा ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है, सर वो positive भी कह रहा, negative भी कह रहा. आपने answer लिखा. Did you write the answer? True. So I would have taken a different approach. I would have taken it from the hazard, vulnerability, and risk reduction. I would have taken a spatio-temporal approach, short term, long term, and other things. But this was one way of writing. Is everyone okay? And as I announced right in the beginning, for the serious, consistent people, I would want such challenges to be thrown at you people, and you do all that answer writing and whatever is needed content creation for yourself and get empowered in that. Everyone with me on this? So उसके लिए हम बाद में बात करेंगे. So this was something on how we can have fusion questions. So yesterday we did a pandemic. And from pandemic, I thought we can deal with this. Now, did we get a lot of ideas about how ICT can impact the economy and society? Yes, sir? ICT, how it can impact economy and society, positive, negative, short term, long term. And can I say, at the end of the day, I would like to conclude that ICT is merely a means to a goal. True or not? It is dependent on us. How do we use it? ICT can be used for devastation also, spreading fake news and spreading hatred in the people. That is also possible, yes, sir? But I'm saying that same ICT can be used to bring succor to the people who are distressed, who are depressed about the bleak future that they see around. With me on this? So let's start with क्या है आज का topic? Problem of agrarian and industrial unrest. क्या होता है agrarian and industrial unrest? Have you heard of any unrest recently? Have you heard of any unrest recently? Shivanshi says cybercrime also increased during pandemic. Can we add that? Yes, Shivanshi, we saw no evaluation में advantages and disadvantages. Please do that. So I said no, the negative things will also be there. Farmer protest. Okay. Is this question on farmer protest? What as geographers we are supposed to do? And can I also say that similar things will be there in economics also and sociology also. So we must be talking about suicide. Arif says suicide, and then Arif will say Maharashtra में suicide होता है. ठीक है? और कुछ? Problems of arid region. सोचो यार क्या है, मतलब what is this whole thing about agrarian unrest? Market price. ठीक है? Market price. See, if we don't think a little deeper, we will come up with only simple things. अच्छा एक बात बताओ. If students decide to create an unrest, in a region, why would they do that? Would there be underlying cause, if at all they do? And if they do, I think for Agniveer we saw something happening in Bihar. Yes, burning public property and all those things. So that is almost riots. Yes or no? क्यों करेंगे students? What would force them to do that? Unemployment, okay. So paper leak, okay. Can I say frustration? Yes. Can I say lack of opportunity, lack of education, lack of hope? Perfect. Unhappy with the government. Is it always with the government? At times, dad is also waiting, father is also waiting. Kab pass hoga? Now you are under full pressure, and some parents are, like, unki parenting is a little physical abuse wali parenting. Yes, they might beat you up also that you're not clearing the examination. Possible. So to avoid all that, what do? I put the blame on the government. Job yahi nahi de raha, main kya karu? Possible. There can be psychological things also. Can I say there can be some elements who enjoy this? Can there be some wrong elements? Yes, sir. Possible. Non-students can also gang up in this. Can there be political influence in this? We have, student unions associated with political parties. They might be fueling the protest. Possible. Everyone, if you can think this much, I'm saying this is what is happening in agrarian and industrial unrest. Why are you thinking only about, minimum support price? If you exploit a farmer, yes or no? If you do not give him, it's a sharecropper. You are the landowner and someone comes and works on your farm, आप उसको सही से पैसा नहीं दे रहे हो. Yes or no? Many of them can go and beat you up. Possible or not? Discontent with monopoly, role of companies. They are unhappy with the role of companies. Can I also say the comparison with the urban counterparts? Yes or no? There are multiple things which are going into this. फिर काम कैसे चलेगा? And I also want to tell you that the topics which I am doing, अभी आपने देखा I fused two things. I fused information technology with pandemic. इसी तरह से आएगा. So now this question, problem of agrarian and industrial unrest is not just a problem of India today. Can I say its roots are somewhere in the geography and the history of the country? True. एग्रेरियन इंडस्ट्रियल अनरेस्ट. थोड़ा सा हिस्ट्री आना चाहिए, थोड़ा सा like how did remember peasant movements came. तो क्यों आए थे peasant movement? Does the story begin from that time or not? So if we are not able to think, then that will be a problem. Modern technology affecting marginal farmers. Aman, I would say farmers as well as labor, industry also. With modern technology, as we are going technology intensive, will there be less jobs? Will there be less jobs or not? So yes, one of the disadvantages, everyone, nobody talked about this when we were talking about disadvantages of ICT. Post COVID is many jobs were gone. Yes or no? Many things उसमें information technology से हो गया. तो 4-5 लोग हुआ करते थे, अब एक ही हो गया. Reducing of manpower. True or not? So many things change. I would say psychologically people also change the meaning of the job. कितने लोगों को जॉब सिर्फ YouTube पर ही मिल गई. Yes or no? अपनी वाइन्स बना रहे. Agrarian unrest, we are talking about this. So the trend of agrarian unrest in India can be traced back to the British rule when the nationalist mass movement took place and fairly large scale 1920s. अगर मुझसे पूछेंगे तो पुरानी बात है. Agrarian unrest, we should call them as class-based movement. So one is the farm agrarian, other can be labor. Can I say that? Industrial unrest. Presently, underlying processes of socio-economic transformation, जो socio-economic transformations हो रहे हैं, anxieties हैं, वो सारी चीज इसको रन करती है. The major ones which I am post-independence, which I see is the Naxalbari movement. Naxalbari movement, that was another big peasant movement. Almost 20,000 peasants under the leadership of Charu Majumdar. New farmers movement is the one which you see nowadays. Yes, fresh farmer movement, वो क्या करेंगे? Road roko, rail roko, something. Yes or no? This was under the Shetkari Sangathan led by Sharad Joshi. This is the considered the modern one. Most of the new peasant movements have narrow caste-based mobilizations. Yes or no? Start किससे होता है? Caste-based mobilization, and at times they also get political mileage also. But again, I want to say that please, their roots are a dual identity which is created amongst farmers. Yes, sir. Anxieties have manifested in the large-scale protests, producing new political and rural agrarian question. So dual identity, जैसे आप देख रहे हैं, rich farmer, poor farmer, do we have that or not? Yes. So that kind of a thing, that is a very, very big problem. Everyone with me on this? So what should we do? We should do a spatio-temporal analysis, correct? Can we do a spatio-temporal analysis of agrarian unrest? ठीक है, पहले तो मुझे बताओ, who's a peasant, who's a farmer, who's a worker? कोई अंतर होता है इसमें? Who's a peasant? What is the difference between a peasant and a farmer? Farmer is an agricultural land owner. Get that? Owns the land and may or may not work on it. Peasant कौन होता है? Agricultural labor. Yes. Can I say can do multiple works? जो भी होगा peasant वहां पर पहुंचा है. True. He can be a potter, he can be a mechanic. कई तरह के काम कर सकता है. Peasant work on the field but does not own that. Is everyone okay? So can I say agricultural labor is a temporary arrangement? Can I also call him tenant? Possible? Tenant also. तो उसको क्या मिलेगा उसके लिए? Maybe some wages or maybe what? Share of crop? Possible? Share of crop भी मिल सकता है. Anything can be there. Since he is at the lowest rung of social hierarchy, high incidence of exploitation. True or not? High incidence of exploitation. उसके अपने issues हैं. Farmer के issues क्या हैं? Farmer is the overall owner of the produce. He want to market it. He is looking for remunerative price. समझ में आता है? Farmer वो देख रहा है. And ये मिस हो जाता है. Mostly the marketing, storage, transport bottlenecks create problem. Is everyone okay? Can I also say कि इसमें भी कुछ caste lines भी हैं? Peasants certain castes, farmers certain castes, तो ये भी caste lines पे भी हैं. So can I say that also? Caste affiliations are high. Not everywhere but possible. Caste affiliations are also there. ठीक है? और worker कौन है? Worker can be a hired any job. It need not be agriculture alone. It can be anything. Agriculture or non-agriculture. So peasant is also a worker, but he's an agricultural worker. Multiple works in the agricultural farm. Is everyone okay with this? ठीक. तो peasant movement कहाँ पर आएंगी? peasant movement जब हम बात करते हैं तो we generally use the term peasant movement, but later on we are looking at, say for example, अभी जो movement, अभी जो when you are talking about the farm bill, do you think the protest is from the peasant or the farmer? The protest is more from the farmer, yes sir. So we need to understand that who's protesting. But पहले अगर हम देखें तो pre-independence, when we are talking about peasants, farmers, there was not too much of urbanization. So generally the farmer was working in his farm also, and as a result many movements were coming there also. But the nature has changed. So थोड़ा temporal analysis करें. Can we do a temporal analysis? This answer we've already looked at. Yes. So we are doing a temporal analysis. Can I say spatiality will be inherent in that? Spatial तो उसके अंदर ही होगा ना? Will that be there or not? So let me go to the colonial days, pre-independence. Colonial days. Can I say 1858 to 1914? This is there, and before this, pre-1857. Can I say pre-1857 they are localized? Some local grievance, a conflict is there. They are not very organized, very localized things are happening, disjointed things are happening. But post 1857, we have seen big revolts. So one is the Bengal revolt, 1859 to 62, and other is the Deccan riots, 1857. So Bengal revolt किस लिए था? Remember indigo farming? So now this is a big one. It is not just a local grievance. It is not a local grievance. Big area, huge area is there. So farmers in Bengal are protesting against it. So Britishers are looking at indigo farming. Indigo is an industrial crop. It is used as a dye. Yes, no? So they would want the Indians to grow into this. True or not? So now I want to tell you that this was already there. Indigo cultivation started in 18th century in Bengal. But Britishers were forced to do it. They were forcing Indian planters to do that. Get that? Now I want to tell you that this will take some investment also. So money is also there. So Britishers said, no, you grow it. And remember that causes land degradation also. Land degradation also. Many things are happening. So Britishers said, you grow it. And the farmers were finding it oppressive. So can I say oppressive indigo farming? Do we need to go into the details? No need. But this idea of credit is important. Idea of credit is important. And that is what we see taking a very big cause against the money lender. Debt crisis against money lenders. So again, can I say big thing or not? True. So this is what we are looking at, that here we were looking at exploitation. Exploitation by colonial master and money lenders was the biggest concern. Can I say that this was the bigger concern of a bigger region? And they would fight for it. They would fight for it. And I would also say that in this, when they came up with permanent settlement, remember permanent settlement? We had the zamindari system and all that system. इसमें एक और system होता था Deccan में especially. What was it? Rayatwari system. So fixed revenue, no matter what, fixed revenue or tax, no matter what the agriculture status is, caused indebtedness. So the farmers were totally unhappy and they said, like, we are not interested in this. So इसमें हमें respite दो. कोई respite आ सकता है? Any of them is anyone who is a benevolent, want to think about people? कोई है इसमें interested? Anyone? They were not interested. So can I say exploitation continued? So much so, around independence, the movies which were made, they always showed money lender as the favorite villain. Yes or no? Gora and money lender, two villains were there. So this is what we are looking at till in this journey, 1858 to 1947. Can I say that this is the bigger cause? Tell me, is this the cause today? That the farmer have gone for protest? Is this the cause? No, this is not the cause. So can I say that temporarily these things keep on changing? They will keep on changing or not? True. Now comes the nationalist movement. Nationalist movement. And in this, Mahatma Gandhi, did he start with some farmer movements or not? Yes. Champaran and Bardoli. True or not? This was no tax, and this was against indigo plantation. True. अमन बीच बीच में सर 3 कठिया और ये वो, अब ये जीएस वाली ना, वो रटने वाली एसएससी वाली छोड़ दो बेटा, थोड़ा सा प्रोसेसिंग वाली भी आइडिया दिया करो, है ना। आंसर के टाइम तो आपने पता नहीं ज्वाइन किया था कि नहीं, आज किया था। तो 3 खटिया नहीं है, 3 कठिया है। सो एवरीवन, इज इट इंपॉर्टेंट कि सारी हिस्ट्री यहाँ पे बताई जाए, किस डेट पर कहाँ है। आई जस्ट सेड दैट दिस इज हैपनिंग। आजादी से पहले वी आर लुकिंग एट थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग लाइक दिस. The colonizers had created some revenue problem, we had some indebted problem, and the nationalist leaders joined in, and this is, can I say, a greater organization. Organization was better. So abhi we are just trying to create some ground for a peasant movement. abhi to movement nahi hai na, movement kahan pe banegi, yahan pe organization, yahan par movement ka status aayega. True or not? So that's why I said these are localized, not movements. For that, I need to have a big grievance. So this is one grievance. Another grievance which I can attribute to them is, one is this permanent settlement. I think the forest laws. Another grievance. You know, peasant and tribal movements. Peasant and tribal movements. अब कुछ लोगों का मन होगा सारी मैं दिखा दूं मुझे कितने आते हैं peasant and tribal. कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं, geography का आंसर. All this, whatever I've written, has to be ended in 2 sentences. As a teacher, I'm supposed to talk in detail, but ये तो इतनी में हो जाएगा. So can I say the roots of agrarian unrest can be traced back to the colonial days, where till 1857 it was largely scattered, but post 1857, when the crown became the head, the policies of the colonial masters and money lenders created a lot of grievances, leading to the rise of unrests. Okay. अमन बीच बीच में सर 3 कठिया और ये वो, अब ये जीएस वाली ना, वो रटने वाली एसएससी वाली छोड़ दो बेटा, थोड़ा सा प्रोसेसिंग वाली भी आइडिया दिया करो, है ना। आंसर के टाइम तो आपने पता नहीं ज्वाइन किया था कि नहीं, आज किया था। तो 3 खटिया नहीं है, 3 कठिया है। सो एवरीवन, इज इट इंपॉर्टेंट कि सारी हिस्ट्री यहाँ पे बताई जाए, किस डेट पर कहाँ है। आई जस्ट सेड दैट दिस इज हैपनिंग. आजादी से पहले वी आर लुकिंग एट थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग लाइक दिस. The colonizers had created some revenue problem, we had some indebted problem, and the nationalist leaders joined in, and this is, can I say, a greater organization. Organization was better. So abhi we are just trying to create some ground for a peasant movement. abhi to movement nahi hai na, movement kahan pe banegi, yahan pe organization, yahan par movement ka status aayega. True or not? So that's why I said these are localized, not movements. For that, I need to have a big grievance. So this is one grievance. Another grievance which I can attribute to them is, one is this permanent settlement. I think the forest laws. Another grievance. You know, peasant and tribal movements. अब कुछ लोगों का मन होगा सारी मैं दिखा दूं मुझे कितने आते हैं peasant and tribal. कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं, geography का आंसर. All this, whatever I've written, has to be ended in 2 sentences. As a teacher, I'm supposed to talk in detail, but ये तो इतनी में हो जाएगा. So can I say the roots of agrarian unrest can be traced back to the colonial days, where till 1857 it was largely scattered, but post 1857, when the crown became the head, the policies of the colonial masters and money lenders created a lot of grievances, leading to the rise of unrests. Okay. The status of a movement came when, in the nationalist movement, the leaders like Mahatma Gandhi made the issues of peasants as a central rallying point for people for a movement. Bardoli and Champaran Satyagraha are examples of that. 2 सेंटेंस में कैसे लिखना होगा बता दिया. अब बताओ इसमें सब लिखना होगा, कहां पर कौन किसके साथ लड़ाई हुआ, वो तो नहीं होगा ना. ठीक है. This led to the creation of peasant organizations. Peasants realized कि अरे यार, if we are united and if we have a bigger cause, then the government listens to us. True or not? Peasant organization क्या देती है हमको? Bargaining power. Yes or no? Collective bargaining power. Remember, one of the criticisms about tribal development is that tribals are not unified and their bargaining power is low. True. So peasant organization bargaining power were created from the 1920s to 40s. First organization was Bihar Provincial Kisan Sabha. 1929 एंड ऑल इंडिया किसान सभा एक बिहार से शुरू हुआ, फिर ऑल इंडिया भी आ गया किसान सभा इन 1936. Is everyone okay? Present organization किस लिए बने? We are talking about this thing, pressure groups. Pressure groups भी कह सकते हो. Bargaining power, yes. Bring issues of economic exploitation, yes, of what? Of farmers or peasants and workers also. They combine that also. And also freedom. They wanted freedom. True. They also wanted, like tax rationalization. True. So these are the issues, can I say, pre-independence issues. And this would go in one sentence. So here I was saying, as a result, the movement started forming in this, and soon that took the form of peasant organizations, which were created at the provincial level in Bihar, and at all India level, we had the All India Kisan Sabha. Is everyone okay? Post-independence, Ajay. Post-independence. So Britishers were exploiting it. Will our government continue to exploit? Maybe, maybe not. Britishers were वसूलोइंग लगान. True or not? All those zamindari, raitwari, वो सब चल रहे थे या गवर्नमेंट ने abolish कर दिए? Government abolished those settlement systems which were exploitative. Yes or no? Government decided to give rights also. Remember, there were these movements. कौन सी movement थी? Land to the tiller, भूदान योजना, land reforms. अब बताइए, government तो आपके साथ है. Government is with you. Then where the fight will happen? If the government is with you, where will the fight happen? Everyone? If the government is with you, where will the fight happen? Rich versus poor. Yes. So can I say post-independence things will change? Post-independence things will change. Ajit is saying money lender. Ajit, money lender to hai abhi bhi, but government is trying to bring credit also. Yes, through institutional ones. Zamindar versus marginal farmer, that is there. Even regional imbalances, I do accept. Regional imbalances should be there. Yes or no? तो इसमें मैं आपके पास दो मूवमेंट्स लेकर आता हूँ. One is the Tibhaga movement. Tibhaga movement, 1946-47, and other is the Telangana movement. So as we can very clearly see, the fight is now between the zamindar and the farmer, and the peasant. Sorry, zamindar and the tenant, peasant, worker, sharecropper. True. So in Bengal and North Bihar, the sharecroppers demanded 2/3, yes, of the crop. Earlier they used to get 1946-47. Yes, they used to get half only. Now they said we are working, so there are greater rights or not? Make sense? True. And Telangana movement was the feudal environment in the princely state of Hyderabad. Can I say the issues are changing? Issues are changing. So we have to fight the feudal lords. उनका अपना ही वो है. तो यहाँ पर जमींदार है, वहाँ पर feudal lord है, क्या करें? True. अब यहाँ पर क्या होता है? Politics comes into it. And what is the politics? The Kisan Sabha, remember Kisan Sabha, and Communist Party of India raised this to a political issue. Is everyone okay? So can I call this as an agrarian movement? True. Agrarian movements, they have changed now. And what has come? We are in a fight with the landlord, zamindar, and it is land to the tiller. The tenurial reforms which were needed, tenurial reforms. Yes. So what tenure? You can just throw these farmers, without any notice or something like that. How much part will be there? Do they have any ownership rights? तो इसके लिए क्या शुरू किया गया? Everyone, what was started? So Kisan Sabha is also there. Communist Party is also there. So what was started? They started pressurizing the government of the day that please do some reforms. And what is it? Land reforms. Is everyone okay? Land reforms through legal measures. So we saw that those systems were, land revenue systems were abolished, Bhudan and all those things happened. Land sealing happened. We've already talked about that. We've already talked about that in our agriculture class, remember? Land sealing, land to the tiller and all those things. Government started that. Did it happen? Did it happen? No, it did not happen. Why did it not happen? There was a lot of political lobbying. Yes or no? There was a lot of political lobbying. There were many loopholes. There were many loopholes. We talked about all those loopholes. Yes or no? The zamindars were able to do that. Sealing wala kaise exemption karna hai, wo bhi hai. These people were not very organized. Yes, and law mein bhi to procedure hai na. They need amendment in that, and the laws are not very this thing. So what happened is these parties would rally people. Kisan Sabha would rally people. Communist Party of India would also rally people, and they say hum लाएंगे. But when they reach the office, when they come to power, or when they reach the politicians, they realize that the law is not in favor of them. Law has got many loopholes. True or not? The rich continues to be rich in the name of it. And remember, there were caste affiliations also. No, how do you fight that? Caste affiliations, big problem. And I also want to tell you that a very big thing which we talked, if you remember, 1960s crisis, wars and droughts, and food shortage. Food shortage led to what? Green revolution. Green revolution wanted what? Big farmer. Now will the government go against big farmer? Yes or no? Can I say it was a setback to land reforms? Remember this, we've already talked about this in agriculture class if you missed it. So now we are in 1947 to 1967. 20 years of wait. In hope. Will the farmers be in a situation that they might lose hope? True or not? Bengal, 1967. Naxalbari region. Naxalbari region. We see Naxalite movement taking birth. True or not? So what was Naxalite movement? Make sure that the idea of communist, they broke away from that communist thinking. They broke away. No, socialism and communist, that was there. Land reforms was a part of that socialistic thing. Naxalite was that if they don't give you by law, you snatch it. Do we get that? So that comes the idea of Naxalism. Is everyone okay? Again, I would not go into the details of that, कि Naxalism क्या है, but मैं ये कह सकता हूँ, because I'm talking about this, I am very well aware that these things are happening. True. 1967. अब हमारा farmer movement is fight with the zamindar. और यहीं पर आपने आज भी सुने होंगे, यूपी बिहार में हमारे पास सेना होती है ना, armies of the peasant also and armies of the zamindar also. होती है नहीं होती है? ऐसे कुछ था ना वो फूलन देवी वाला and all those things, और रणवीर सेना and all many things happening in that. Can I say now they are getting armed also? Yes. So Ranveer Sena, Rameshwar Mukhya, सब कुछ हो रहा है. अब सब कुछ हो रहा है. Can you see the change of the farm protest is changing? Things are changing. अब इनके डिटेल बताने की जरूरत है. किसने क्या किया, किसका सिर काटा, किसका पैर काटा, ये तो नहीं करने की जरूरत ना. Can I say the focus from multiple agrarian issues was lost? Particularly in Eastern India, Eastern UP, Bihar, Bengal. Did it continue or not? Eastern Bihar, Bengal, did it continue or not? This continued, and this is what I said somewhere here, that what we started with, the pre-colonial, after the formation of the non-Congress United Front government in West Bengal. So when West Bengal government, non-Congress government was there, the communists came to power. But the government, they decided to distribute the surplus land to the landless, but failed. It was not possible. Legal issues were there. So Naxalbari area started this. What is the new farm movement? New farm movement is for your Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra. New farm movement project starts in 1980s in Nasik. As I said, Shetkari Sangathan in under Sharad Joshi. The immediate demand for farmers was price for sugarcane and onion. Suddenly, can we say the price, remunerative pricing has come into the question? Most of these new peasant movements are also caste-based mobilization. So new peasant movement कहाँ पर शुरू हुआ है after Naxalbari? This is Punjab, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu. Is everyone with me on this? 1970s and 80s. New farmer movement. और इनके issues क्या हैं? So can I say one strain goes over there and other strain comes here? (1970s) Punjab. Can I say Punjab, Haryana is one belt? Maharashtra another region, and Tamil Nadu farmers. Is everyone okay? What are they talking about? Price, remunerative price. What are their methods? Methods of their agitation. What are the methods of their agitation? They are blocking roads, railways. True or not? Politicians not allowed entry. आपने देखा ये हरियाणा and Punjab happened. Politicians not allowed entry to the village. घुसेगा नहीं, जहां भी इसका हेलीकॉप्टर लैंड करेगा काला झंडा दिखाएंगे. True or not? And this agenda has got broadened with time. In fact, you will find that in some of the protests which we were seeing in the farmer protests which happened outside Delhi, Punjab, Haryana, Punjab, Haryana farmers protesting over there, it includes issues of environment. So there was one very strong faction in this farm protest which was about the excessive use of pesticides, like Punjab farming, Punjab unsustainable farming, that how Punjab farmers are doing excessive use of pesticide use, groundwater exploitation, yes, and many things are happening to the ecosystem. In issues of women, issues of industrial workers also, at times they were also clubbed in it. I don't know how many of you were talking about this. So this acquired the status of new social movements with support from intelligentsia also. Intelligentsia and जो intelligentsia जानते intellectual लिख देना. And can I say common man also? Common people, are they getting to know their agenda or not? Everyone, yes or no? Fighting to reclaim. Fighting, can I say fighting to reclaim? Reclaim what? Something which is lost behind. Rural agrarian space. अब सब कुछ तो अर्बन ही है. In an urbanized one, where there is a wave of urbanization in the country, can I say farmers are left behind? Can I say farmers are left behind in this wave? True. So farmers want to reclaim that space. And now what they are talking about, you will find in all these movements, they are talking about Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. They are saying, give us that dignity. The fight is for dignity now. The fight is कि हमारा जो स्वामीनाथन कमीशन है उसने जो भी बताया वो करो. The agitation of farmers which erupted in March 2017, which continued during the lockdown also, have been demanding higher MSP, loan waiver, and Swaminathan committee recommendation. That's what we're talking about. And in fact, those farm laws, one of them, put a penalty of, imagine what was the penalty for stubble burning? 1 CR, 1 crore rupees penalty lagaya stubble burning. What law we are talking about? True or not? That shows the disconnect which the farmer is having. कि भाई आप हमें कुछ space में कोई जगह ही नहीं देते. Are we a part of the socio-cultural space of the country or not? Imagine an urban area. In urban area, we are burning things. We are having industrial pollution. So many things. Everyone, all of us are using polythene or not? Even now, polythene is being used or not? Extensively, is it being used or not? So polythene तो use किया जा रहा है. किसी पे 1 crore का penalty है. Yes. Are they polluting vehicles on the road? Are they polluting vehicles on the road? Very much there. True or not? Are we putting 1 crore penalty? But farmer if caught will have 1 crore penalty. So a new identity, that's what they're fighting for. They are fighting for a new identity. And why? You have seen, rural depopulation happening. Rural depopulation happening, people are not taking up agriculture. True or not? So it's an attitude change and they want a mass political mobilization. So can I say, do we get the nature of the farmer unrest? अब इसमें सब लोग organized नहीं है. इसमें भी we have the spatial difference. Say for example, the government was able to unfortunately drive a divide between the farmers, that this is an issue only of the Punjab farmer. आप एक बात बताइए, remunerative pricing, what is wrong with that? Yes or no? No, these people want the mandi system to be there and all those things. So we are talking about, are they talking about MSP guarantee? They are talking about MSP guarantee. Can MSP guarantee be given? Well, MSP guarantee cannot be given because of our WTO commitments. We cannot be subsidizing it that overtly. Yes or no? Is government of India already under the burden of fertilizer subsidy? True or not? It's a very paradoxical situation. It's a very, very paradoxical situation for India's food security. We want our farmers to be motivated and produce as much agricultural produce that is there. But at the same time, we are not willing to pay them. I think we have already talked a lot about this in agriculture. Can I avoid that discussion once again? True or not? But that political mobilization is there, and I hear of like farmers again mobilizing. Once again, they feel that none of their demands were met. So I would say I remember a student coming to me and he said कि सर मुझे IAS की पढ़ाई करनी. I said okay, so whatever. So that boy was very low with his awareness about things. He had not read anything and everything. So he said सर मैं पंजाब से भाग के आया, मुझे खेती नहीं करनी है. So कुछ भी करवा दो, मुझे खेती नहीं करनी. I don't want to be a farmer, sir. Please do something. I said if you don't want to be a farmer, you can be many more things. Why better you want to be an IAS only? Tell me what kind of thought is this? If I'm not an IAS, if I'm not a farmer, I will be an IAS officer. बीच में कोई रंग ही नहीं आता क्या? Think about it. That's where the novelty lies. That's where we are looking at. I've always said Punjab farmer needs diversification. Agricultural reforms are the need of the hour. But agricultural reforms, once again, welfare approach, bottom up, multi-level planning, not a top-down planning. Farmer is also waiting for a new deal. Farmer is also waiting for a new deal, and in a globalized world, I think India is really standing on a very good point where Indian farmers can get a very good deal. True or not? But the fact is that it has to come from them. And remember, the acceptability of reform becomes more when it is coming to this. So unfortunately, I feel ये तो अच्छी बात है. If the farmer is looking for identity, you can see intellectuals and everyone can support them. But unfortunately, we are looking at the governments need to look at them as an integrated part. जैसे आपने देखा कि अगर कोई उन्हें सपोर्ट कर रहा है तो वो अर्बन नक्सल है. Is this language? We attached terms like Khalistani is coming and doing that. Was that something fair? Does that also show our mindset or not? So I think farm movements, farm protests are somewhere rooted in distress, which the farmer is facing. Well, they are not very well organized. And if the organization is there, that is generally regional and based on certain affiliations. True or not? But there are bigger issues, and it has to be a win-win situation for the farmer of India and the country. And that is there. That has to be there. ठीक है? मैप अगर बनाना हो तो क्या दिखाओगे? If you are making a map, so what will you show? जल्दी से इनोवेट करो. फार्म मूवमेंट्स, फार्म अनरेस्ट क्या कर सकते हो? बिकॉज पीपल हु आर क्लियरिंग द एग्जाम वो तो मुझे सरप्राइज करते रहते हैं अपने अपने आंसर्स से. Quickly make a map and show me what can we do about this. We can plot area of agitation. अरे संयम, कौन सा एरिया बताओगे एजिटेशन का? Can I say green revolution success zone? Yes. Can I say green revolution success zone? True. Was it there or not? Can I say these are into modern farm protests? अभी हमने लिखा था ना मॉडर्न फार्म प्रोटेस्ट की कहां पर शुरू हुआ था? यहां पर नक्सलवादी बनाएंगे हम. Can I say Bihar, West Bengal? Farm distress, small and marginal. Exploitation. Can I say caste affiliations? महाराष्ट्र में बिल्कुल डालना चाहिए. Farmer suicide डालेंगे. Can we talk about this? Can I say historically the site of Deccan riots? Pre-independence. Can I say that? गांधी जी का चंपारण डालो. चंपारण कहीं पे आ सकता है? चंपारण बारडोली डाल दो ना, बन गया मैप. Everyone have we done that? और यहाँ पर क्या बनाएंगे? दिल्ली. ये क्या है? एपी सेंटर ऑफ recent farm protest 2017 to 2020. बन गया. ठीक है. और कुछ करना है? नॉर्थ ईस्ट में खाली लग रहा है, यहाँ पर आप लिख सकते हो प्लांटेशन लेबर, वो भी अपना प्रोटेस्ट करता है ना. दो दिस कैन गो इन इंडस्ट्रियल अनरेस्ट ऑल्सो. दिस कैन गो इन इंडस्ट्रियल अनरेस्ट. अब ये बताओ यार, ये मैप बनते नहीं है कहीं पर, बुक में थोड़ी बनाया यार. इज इट इन द बुक? इज इट इन द बुक? आप यहाँ पे डालो भूदान योजना. Please put that. Yes. Can I say drought prone area distress? अच्छा, और बताऊं. अब मेरे दिमाग में जब शुरू हो रहा है तो रिवर, रिमेंबर नर्मदा प्रोजेक्ट्स में डिस्प्लेस्ड फार्मर्स. अजीत बोला सिक्किम में ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग, क्या बताना, ये थोड़ी पूछ रहे, टेल मी व्हाट इज फार्मिंग, टेल मी द प्रॉब्लम। सो नर्मदा में डू वी हैव द फार्मर्स प्रोटेस्टिंग, नर्मदा बचाओ आंदोलन आएगा या नहीं आएगा? ट्रू ना, आंदोलन की बात करनी है। और कहीं से कुछ मिलता है अपना खुल्लर, हाँ खुल्लर कब पढ़ोगे, होमवर्क खुल्लर, खुल्लर प्लस इंटरनेट, कैन वी डू दैट और नॉट एवरीवन? Can I say towards the end they 2020 saw mass support to the cause of farmers, to the cause of farmers, yes, to the cause of farmers. And globalization is an opportunity. Is globalization an opportunity or a threat? Is globalization an opportunity or a threat? Shivanshi says both. Should we talk about this in this answer? I don't know. Should we prepare for this topic? Contemporary issues ना, देखो ये भी आया हमारे पास, globalization and Indian economy. So will it be globalization and Indian agriculture? Can a question come on that also? अभी तो agrarian unrest किया. Is everyone clear about agrarian unrest? Do you also see map? मिलेगा नहीं, बनाना होगा. From the discussion, whatever I talk, can you create these things? Can you be confident? Yes, this is the difference between people who are clearing the examination, people who are just attending classes, dictation ले रहे हैं. And why would I stop? ये तो कहीं मिलेगा ही नहीं. And इसी को expand करना is my answer. True or not? So quickly. (1658) to 1705. ब्रेक ले लें, थिंक अबाउट इट, और इस पर भी बात करते हैं. अनदर टॉपिक ऑफ द कंटेम्पररी इश्यूज, इम्पैक्ट ऑफ ग्लोबलाइजेशन. ठीक है, वी विल लुक एट दैट आल्सो. क्विक ब्रेक, कम बैक एंड देन वी विल टॉक. Competition, crops, issues, shifting from agriculture to industry, security, internal events. Okay, perfect. Local market, internal events impact local market. Tejasvi says incompetence of local agricultural product. Incompetence to nahi कहेंगे हम, quality issues. See, one is that it has opened new avenues. It has opened new avenues for Indian agriculture. It comes with stiff competition. True or not? We need to talk about that. We need to talk about the positives then. Positives are agri inputs. Can I say? In terms of technology, seeds, fertilizer, etc. Better or not? Agri inputs. Can I say better? Even capital and investment, contract farming. Yes or no? Globalization has brought in. I also believe that when we are talking about this greater farm mechanization, commercialization, aided in commercialization and agri diversification, because when you have market credit and everything coming in, so that has helped us. Yes or no? In fact, commercialization, I can tell you, truck farming, which is practiced in the Mediterranean region for fruits, Mediterranean region, is now adopted in Himachal for apples. Yes or no? So we are looking at all those things. We are able to look at that. Boost in productivity. GM crops. ट्रक फार्मिंग क्या होती है? ट्रक फार्मिंग में मतलब इट इज कॉल्ड जनरली, जिसको हम कहते हैं विटल से का जो रीजन होता है, विटल से का जो मार्केट पेरिशेबल रीजन. सो दैट्स इट. सो आप जो है छोटा सा ग्रो करते हैं एंड देन यू हैव योर ट्रक एंड डू दैट. ये इसको हम दो तरह की फार्मिंग बोलते हैं. बैकयार्ड फार्मिंग, सो यू आर हैविंग नॉट बिग ऑर्चर्ड्स, बस इतना कि आप अपने उसमें वो किया एंड देन यू हैव योर ट्रक फुल ऑफ इट एंड यू सेल इट. दैट इज दिस थिंग. ठीक है, ट्रक फार्मिंग. व्हाट एल्स? Irrigation techniques. What else? What else? Positives में जल्दी से बताएंगे. What else can be included in positives? Food processing industry. Yes, industry. So can I say agri market, agri exports? Have they gone up? Yes, no? India is supplying them. Yes. Quality standards. Have they been upgraded? Yes, no? Linking Indian farmers with global farmers and farming techniques. True. अगर मुझे इसमें कोई मैप बनाना हो, इंडिया मैप बनेगा, वर्ल्ड मैप, इंडिया मैप और वर्ल्ड मैप. So we'll have to make a world map. और इसमें एक और डाला जा सकता है ना, GI tags. Yes, especially we are talking about this. Can I say we are sending raw agro commodities to US? Raw agro commodity cooked हम वो करते हैं, ठीक है. Unfortunately, canned foods are coming back. Canned foods and juices, are they coming back or not? Are we looking at between India and West Asia processed food exchange happening? Indian mangoes, Indian wheat. Can we create an answer based on that? Recent times, mangoes, wheat, especially Russia, Ukraine. True or not? What else? Raw material. Raw material also we're looking at. Tea भी हो सकता है. Tea, coffee. So can I say spices? Plantation में beverages, tea, coffee, cotton. We are looking at all those things. Export items. Export items, you can very well talk about them. Export items. अब हैंडलूम भी आ गया, सब आ गया, बात हो रही है एग्रीकल्चर. सो एग्रो एंड एग्रो बेस्ड इंडस्ट्रीज, एग्रो एंड एग्रो बेस्ड इंडस्ट्रीज वो दिखा देना जहां से भी भेजना. इज एवरीवन ओके? व्हाट एल्स? हमारे पास ऑयल की शॉर्टेज है. सो कैन आई से पाम ऑयल इंपोर्ट्स, वो भी तो है ना, शॉर्टेज भी तो मीट करना है. शॉर्टेज हैज टू बी. ट्रू और नॉट? आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू शो सम मैप. आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू शो सम मैप. ठीक है, इसी में हमने देखा, वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस थिंग, we were getting into free trade agreements. I think आज भी in the Hindu newspaper we are talking about FTAs, free trade agreements. We are talking about that. Yes, sir. With India's safeguard, with safeguard of Indian farmers, and especially recently we saw the case of dairying sector, dairy products. ये जो हम sign करने वाले थे with the Pacific alliance that we were talking about, we pulled out of that alliance. Why? RCEP से क्यों pull out किया? Because our dairy sector was not ready for that. We could see that all these, as somebody rightly said, Australia, New Zealand, they would have simply flooded our market with that. So खैर वो नेगेटिव में आ जाएगा. नेगेटिव में. Is everyone okay with the positives? Everything okay with the positives? Negatives सोचे? Negatives, what are the negatives? Quickly the negative impacts. So I think 2-3 things, look on inputs and on outputs. ऐसे देखते हैं. Outputs of agriculture. ठीक है? I think on inputs, we have started using heavy use of, as Sandhya rightly said, heavy use of fertilizers, pesticide. True. Genetically modified crops. Even the idea of a terminator gene. Remember that? We are looking at seed manufacturing monopolies. True or not? I said seed manufacturing monopolies are there. Can we say input intensive? In fact, so much so somebody said, like the diesel, subsidized diesel pollution, which we are looking at. I have also heard about something called as virtual water loss. So we are actually exporting resources also, no? Suppose I grow paddy, I grow basmati rice, and I'm sending it to Europe. Basmati rice में मेरे resource भी तो लगे ना? True or not? In outputs, we see severe competition. Pricing not very competitive, low price देते हैं. On such laws, like phytosanitary measures, yes, no? Phytosanitary measures. I also feel that the infrastructure is not in place. To optimize benefits of globalization. True or not? Farmer is still small and marginal, needs protection. True. तो जो उसको पैसा मिलेगा वो कम ही होगा. Employment generation is low. In fact, remember disguised unemployment. Disguised unemployment is there. और क्या जल्दी से? More points. Limited investment with spatial imbalances. Yes or no? Global events leading to high price. Global price fluctuation. So can I just say it's a global exposure? Global risk exposure. Okay. We are more exposed to the risk. May not be hedged against it. तो क्या लगता है वे फॉरवर्ड क्या करना चाहिए? If somebody wants to see that we can see this is a double-edged sword, can benefit Indians also and may not be, so what should be done? Indian agriculture को न्यू डील कैसे देना? जैसे RCEP था, RCEP with adequate safeguards. Yes, makes sense. We should not be averse to it. Not be averse to globalization. True. In fact, the pandemic showed that we need to be self-reliant. Very, very important. Learning post-pandemic. And Russia-Ukraine war. यहाँ पे कई बार ऐसी बात आई, end of globalization. Heard of that? Rise of localization. I am not looking at ending globalization. I am looking at whatever is not working for you, have safeguards for that. Have that bargaining power. And who will have that bargaining power? Everyone who will have that bargaining power. A country which is self-reliant. No, Amrut, if I am self-reliant, we will have the bargaining power. Yes or no? Our wheat, our rice is demanded by the world. अगर मेरे पास होगा नहीं तो मैं क्या करूँगा? Yes or no? In between, China had this issue with soybean crop. Yes, China had issues with soybean crop. There was a shortage. India was not ready with that. Soya crop ready नहीं था. अपने पास था नहीं उतना. We could not meet it. So if there is an opportunity, grasp the opportunity. Be on a lookout for opportunity. Supply chain disruptions, बिल्कुल है. Due to headwinds as negatives of globalization. See, supply chain disruption is there. Arif, did I not say when you are this self-reliant? आप बताइए global supply chain disruptions and the beautiful word which you are using, global headwinds. वो अपने को थोड़ी लगी. Importing countries की ज़्यादा शामत आई कि नहीं है? That's what we are looking at. Promoting indigenous breed sustainable practices. Yes. Indigenous again, like indigenous breed को ही ऐसा नहीं है कि indigenous breed होगी. अगर वो नहीं है तो उसमें qualitative improvement भी तो है ना. Indigenous techniques must be worked on. ये थोड़ी कि बैठ के सिर्फ चूरन बनाया और बोल दिया colonial लिखा लो. So it has to be there. Qualitative upgrade चाहिए कि नहीं? Qualitative upgrade with standards and norms. कैसा? बाबा अपना ऑर्गेनिक शहद बेच रहा है. It does not comply to any norms. बट क्योंकि बाबा के भक्त हैं, सब लोग खाएंगे. बाबा ने बोला, बाबा जी की बूटी समझ के we are eating it. Why? Agricultural investment, agriculture diversification, and agricultural industrialization, agro-based industry, agri-industry need a revolution. Yes or no? कब आएगा? साथ ही साथ हमेशा add sustainability to it. Sustainability on social and ecological parameters. It should definitely be inclusive and equity. Yes or no? ये नहीं होगा एग्रीकल्चर में तो प्रॉब्लम है. It will not sustain inclusive, equity and remunerative. वो तो आएगा ना उसमें. Socio-economic, can I call it socio-economic sustainability and ecological sustainability? That's what we are talking about. Everyone, अच्छा idea था यार. Good topic covered. Impact of globalization on Indian agriculture. Okay, similarly for Indian industry हो जाएगा. I think it's just a matter of thinking कि इसका क्या मैप बनाना है, कैसे करना है. The more you think, the more things will be there. But yes, it should be a depth should come, and all this depth, all these ideas will come when you are serious about your preparation with GS, with books. You're not aware, you're not avoiding things. You are not avoiding things. ठीक है? एक मैंने लिंक किया agrarian crisis का last एक मैं topic करना चाहता हूँ. I thought of bringing that idea also. That slums that we are seeing in the city are somewhere concerned or connected to the agrarian crisis in the rural areas. Do you agree or not? Slums in city are a manifestation of agrarian crisis. If the rural area does not face that crisis, there will not be so much of rural-urban migration. Can you see that idea? I want everyone to see that idea also. Everyone with me on this? Can I say failure of agriculture? Can I say these are the push factors? A push factor. Agrarian crisis is the push factor. Limited development prospects in rural areas. Do we agree or not? Do we have those limited ones or not? Are these very clear push factors or not? Yes. Rising aspiration level. Disguised unemployment. Lack of diversification choices. Lack of diversification or choices. ये सारे मीनिंगफुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट नहीं दे पा रहा. मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ नॉन रेम्यूनरेटिव इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी. True or not? And definitely it requires a lot of physical effort in agriculture. Yes or no? True or not? What about goods and services of low order only? I've always maintained, like ये rural depopulation के drivers हैं. Drivers of rural depopulation, non-remunerative economic activity. Yes or no? Goods and services, you want, like goods of, better transport, you want better healthcare, you want better education. है नहीं वहाँ पर available. So you will come to urban areas. Are urban areas waiting for you? No. Urban areas at the same time have non-planned urban expansion. Cities need manpower. City needs people, but city has not planned for it. So big problem or not? Everyone with me on this? So we've handled rural, all aspects of rural. जितना भी कर सकते थे, because this is also to do with everyone RDP, regional development and planning. So when you are preparing now, everyone who's preparing, always keep the full syllabus in front of you. You will start seeing connections. दिखाई दे रहे हैं या नहीं दे रहे? And is it intimidating you? या समझ में आ रहा? इसी में मैप बनाना हो. Agrarian crisis कहाँ पर है? You can simply show Eastern UP, Bihar are the outflow areas. हो रहे हैं नहीं हो रहे? कहाँ पर जा रहा है? वो पंजाब में जा रहा है. पंजाब फार्मिंग के लिए जा रहा है और big cities में जा रहा है. You can very well show agrarian crisis. Can you show agrarian crisis in the semi-arid areas also? Semi-arid areas. True. That's also there. Can I say agrarian crisis even in the face of climate change? Can I say in the face of climate change, areas which are either drought or too much of flooding happening over there? Is that also there? I'm to saying agrarian crisis even in the hilly areas. Even in the hilly areas with the changing of seasonal belt, we are looking at even those horticulture products and everything. Those are big challenges which we are seeing. True or not? So can I say climate proofing is also lack of climate proofing of Indian agriculture? I don't know whether you like these classes which are taking theme after theme related to one theme, but I want to tell you, if you start looking at a topic like this, one theme leads to other theme leads to other, that means your preparation is going on the right track. Have you done a lot about agriculture today once again? And I hope you are understanding the nature of agrarian unrest that is happening in India and developing the kind of empathy that is needed for that. Somehow I felt, like in the whole farm protest, there was not empathy. Government was successful in creating antipathy and probably to save its own stand. we were dividing ourselves. I think that should not have been there. Okay, that's my view. If you still feel nahi aisa nahi hai to गड़बड़ है. Role of river Ganga. I was just looking at your syllabus and I was looking at ये homework मेरा, ठीक है, one homework सोचिएगा. River interlinking is a part. अब ये तो बहुत बार आ चुका है. I've also done with you. Yes, no? So I thought of, like, ask a question: what is the role of river Ganga in the socio-economic development of its region, of country? कुछ कहेंगे? Not all ideas to be turned in the class. The rural areas, I thought that was connected, so we must think about that also. The role of river Ganga, ये मत कहना भक्ति के लिए, भक्ति और शक्ति in the development of society, economy, ecology, sectors, primary, secondary, tertiary. Tertiary sector में does river Ganga have a role? Tertiary sector, big role. गंगा टूरिज्म, एकदम भक्ति, यहीं पे सारा मोक्ष सबको मिलवाया जा सकता है कि नहीं? स्पिरिचुअल टूरिज्म, सिर्फ वही नहीं, स्पिरिचुअल टूरिज्म. पाप भी तो धुलवाने ना, इतने पाप जो दुनिया कर रही है, तो गंगा में एकदम क्लेंजिंग एक्शन ऑफ गंगा यूज करें. अंबुज बोला एस्थेटिक वैल्यू. अब एस्थेटिक तो अंबुज हम ही लोगों ने गंगा को एस्थेटिक छोड़ा नहीं है. नेविगेबल, यस, नेविगेबल में आपको सेकेंडरी सेक्टर में भी बहुत सारा यूज होता है. एंड द एंटायर रिवर नेविगेशन सिस्टम ब्रिंग्स इन अ लॉट ऑफ दिस थिंग. ठीक है, हिस्टोरिकल कनेक्ट, सिविलाइजेशन. मुझे नहीं पता अमन क्यों लिख रहे हो, बट मैंने आपको आइडियाज दिए. रोल ऑफ रिवर गंगा इन सोसाइटी, इकोनॉमी एंड इकोलॉजी, दैट इज देयर. विकास बोला गंगा जल सेलिंग. विकास, गंगा जल क्या पहली बार सेल हो रहा है? हमेशा ही सेल होता है. अचीविंग फूड सिक्योरिटी, एग्रीकल्चर एंड फूड सिक्योरिटी, another theme. When I was just wondering कि आज क्या themes पे बात करेंगे, but then we run short of time, so we will be talking about industrial unrest. So what is the meaning of industrial unrest? Industry में आग लग जाना. And where are the roots of it? What are the issues of industrial unrest? Have you heard of recent any industrial unrest? आपने कहीं पे देखा, सुना industrial unrest in your knowing? So another social movement which I, since you're not able to think, again the history is old. Old क्या, history is always old. History is connected to industrial revolution, urbanization, and colonial past. है ना? Labor formation, labor union form होगी या नहीं होगी, all those things, absolutely correct. So that we have to talk about. So actually, factory production, factory में labor है, factory production began in 1860s in British port towns, Kolkata, Mumbai. Should I call them Bombay and Calcutta? Yes or no? And what kind of factory was this? What kind of factory was this? Some colonial utility. Most of the times, so they were manufacturing. Most of the times, they were manufacturing the manufactured goods and sending to India. But like in certain cases, they were looking at that. Some Indian industrialists also got into that. Textile is one important area that we are looking at. Okay. So Kolkata, Mumbai में start हुआ, then even went to Madras, which is Chennai. ठीक है. एक और कैटेगरी आया इंडस्ट्रियल वर्कर्स में फैक्ट्री प्रोडक्शन के बाद. वन मोर कैटेगरी ऑफ वर्कर्स which Britishers brought in as an industry was the plantation industry. Tea plantations in Assam. Get it? Now in this, why would there be unrest? Why unrest? Because treatment was inhuman. Inhuman treatment, treated as cheap labor, no overtime तो खैर क्या ही होगा, wages भी क्या थे, हमें जो दे दिया मालिक ने दे दिया. So no proper working conditions, no proper wages or working condition. It was close to slavery only. Yes, true. It was close to slavery and nothing was there. तो यहाँ पर workers will protest. Workers will protest. Yes. But when they protested, they found the Britishers were getting their upper hand. So finally, from this came the idea of trade unions. Do we get that? ट्रेड यूनियंस केम, ठीक है, छोटे मोटे स्ट्राइक होते रहेंगे, समझे, अहमदाबाद मिल्क स्ट्राइक एंड ऑल दैट. तो ये जब यूनियंस आएंगे तो इनके पास अपने टूल्स होंगे, टूल्स लाइक स्ट्राइक, ये सब. एंड इसमें नेशनलिस्ट मूवमेंट, नेशनल मूवमेंट आल्सो हेल्प्ड, national movement also helped. Yes, so trade unions started coming, and national movement gave them an anti-colonial character also. True. The trade unions were there, and local strikes were happening. But during the war, during World War, exploitation increased. Exploitation increased, and the farm and the working conditions deteriorated. This is where worker strikes became very, very important. Get that? So jute workers in Calcutta में jute workers striked. Madras में the textile mills. Same Ahmedabad. These strikes were happening. Is everyone okay? During the World War I के आसपास this was there. ठीक है? In Madras, in 1918, in Madras, B.P. Wadia, a social worker, he set up the first trade union. Okay, 1918, Mahatma Gandhi also, he founded the Textile Labor Association. Textile Labor Association. Is everyone okay? And many people have been talking about this. Vikas is saying AITUC, absolutely okay. So 1920 में बना All India Trade Union Congress in the then Bombay. Do we get that? So generally the nationalist leaders helped in this formation. True. Vikas is saying Lala Lajpat Rai. So definitely Lala Lajpat Rai was there, but others also, S.A. Dange, M.N. Roy, they were all involved in this. So I'm not getting into whether it was Rai or others. But I just said, like the nationalist leaders from different walks, some with communist ideas, some with extreme or some with moderate ideas. So everyone was a part of it, and they wanted this also, the workers' movement also, to be a tool against the colonial power or not. True or not? And that is why, like Britishers were pressurized. Britishers were pressurized to reform. So 1922, we get our 4th Factories Act. Get that? And in this act, they regulated the working to 10 hours. In 1926, they passed the Trade Union Act. The trade unions can actually register them. So this was giving them a legal status. Legal status we will get. And world over, that is there. So why would Indian workers not get that? Is everyone okay with this? So All India Trade Union is there, and many of them who will get registered, they can easily get their affiliations. Is everyone okay? This is happening before independence. So everyone can see what are their issues. Issues are these, and we have also brought in the cause of nationalism with the workers, so that continues. And we see, like when it comes to these areas, the government can also get pressurized, and our nationalist leader got a taste of this political power which these unions have. So post-independence, we saw a lot of politics getting into it. Post-independence, politics got involved in these trade unions. Get that? So AITUC was already there, but mostly communist control. So All India Trade Union, when we are talking about this, so this is, they are working on this, and the communists are controlling it. So communists will have a lot of power because of this, because workers also there. Remember, they can also become industrial armies. Workers can turn into industrial armies. Yes or no? So this is when the government saw a lot of communist control in that, and the government at that time was Congress. So the Congress, Indian National Congress, created INTUC, Indian National Trade Union Congress, by INC. And then many other factions were created. Many other factions were created on political lines. Is everyone okay? (1960s), remember distress time, Green Revolution and all that, distress time, so industrial slowdown. So misery comes, many problem. 1974, railway workers strike. True. So this was going on, and all these things were working post-independence. We are looking at, they are organized, but mostly on political lines. So we are not looking at many things, just like we were talking about peasant movement. No? People were aware, people were made a part of that. This is mostly in the domain of the political party, so that is there. And in fact, politics has so much control that during emergency 1975 to 77, opposition wanted to use trade unions to oppress the government. Yes, like we were doing with the Britishers. So what did the government do? They curbed all trade union activities. Not allowed. Which made the government very, very unpopular. Yes or no? True. So this has been the history of what we are talking about, say for example, industrial unrest in India. But I think post 1980s, it slowed down. And in 1991, it picked up. Why? Against what? Globalization. Remember LPG? So they said these people will be deprived of. These people will be deprived of their jobs. So why not? We must work on that. True or not? So this is what we are looking at. So they said, the safeguards are not there. Many problems are there post 1991 we are looking at. So how would we deal with them? So that is what we have. So this is sochenge, what are the problems of industrial workers? Farmers का तो we have understood. Industrial workers के क्या demands हैं? जल्दी से बताएंगे everyone. Think about it. Inequality, fixed working hours, wage, bonus. Perfect. I think we can look at financial. Financial issues may though definitely wage and bonus will come. True or not? Wage, bonus, perks, some fringe benefits. True or not? Festival incentives, allowances. Equal pay, equal work, equal pay for women. Yes or no? Can I say financial security, hire and fire nahi hona chahiye. I think these are the bigger ones that we are talking about. What are the non-financial aspects? Non-financial. I think this is about work conditions, work hours, rest hours. Kitna rest milna chahiye. Yes or no? If there are these days, traveling is also that can be there. Can I say upgrade issues? Upgrade of technology, machines. If the machines are getting this thing, even automation, they must understand. So these are not financial, but they must be brought into confidence. They must be reskilled. Yes or no? Yes, looking at medical, other welfare measures. Yes or no? I also believe like terms of contract, agreement, implementation of agreement. जो किया वो मिल रहा है कि नहीं? We made an agreement, is that valid or not? True or not? Sometimes victimization, there can be sexual abuse. Possible or not? Favoritism. Sometimes I also believe, like people do a sympathetic strike to support a cause. Discrimination based on caste. Well, private sector में इतना नहीं कि caste पर होगा, or maybe हो भी सकता है to certain extent, but इतना नहीं. But I do see that discrimination, favoritism can be possible, like favoring someone. कि चाहिए IIT से पढ़ के आया है, a particular age group, a particular kind of skill set. So that is quite possible. Is everyone with me on this? हाँ. So somebody was mentioning globalization. ये मैंने general लिखा है. This I have written general. This I have written general. जो अभी तक trade unions जो भी बन रही हैं, these are what they are fighting: maternity, paternity. I said work conditions, work hours, rest hours. So अरे ये सब हो गया. But a bigger thing that comes to my mind is that post reforms we are in a globalization paradigm. Post reforms we are in a globalization paradigm that has different challenges. Globalization paradigm, it has redefined the geographies of production. Can I call them that? Geographies of production have changed. Yes or no? Bargaining power of the employer has increased. True or not? Can I say post-COVID, big reshuffle, and especially in India, informal sector, no safeguards. See, if you're not talking about real issues, then things will not work. Can I say the trade unions have become weaker? Post LPG, government has really cut down on many things on that. True or not? And even can I say, what should I say? Privatization, or closing of public sector enterprises. Yes, we are looking at, in a globalized world, laws are such laws, pro-employer laws, reform in labor law. Yes, labor law exemptions, rather labor law dilution. Call for dilution is what we are looking at to attract foreign investment. True or not? Very clear. Revolution in technology. Globalization has brought revolution in technology, communication, and transport. It's a huge revolution. True or not? So the trade practices have to be liberalized. Liberalized trade. We are looking at. Yes or no? More technology intensive production. Capital and technology intensive production. True or not? So human manpower requirement is going down. Upskilling is low. So many challenges have come in this area or not? Do we agree? इसीलिए यहाँ पर we'll talk about gig economy also. We can talk about that. Lot of economy and all those things, proper industrial works and those jobs are not there. And to a large extent, we are looking at people not even aware of their rights. True or not? अभी भी कई बार ऐसा लगता है नौकरी मिल जाए बस, इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज प्लेसमेंट हो जाए बस, इज्जत बच जाएगी. True. That's what we are looking at. Many people have taken loans. बस लोन चुकाना है. Education loan, some job and some education loan. So the safeguards are missing on that. Is everyone with me on this? So everyone coming back to the announcement, I need to end the class at 6 o'clock. फिर लंबी क्लास हो गई कल थी. So 15, 16, 17 class has been shifted to 19, 20, 21st. 18 September, I'm going to talk about course completion and review, how to go about, keeping your learning accelerated in that. You have 3 days. If you have not submitted your homeworks or something which you feel that you must be, please submit them. That is one, it is going to help you also. And second, it will help me also screen some of the students who can go ahead because they have better comprehension, reading, thinking, and processing abilities. I would like to support them further. Get that? Thanks a lot, and see you on Sunday. I think Sunday is the class. Please mail me anything that you feel topic is left. Do that. Will I do in 15, 16, 17? Why have I read holiday? Understand or not? 17th and 18th is your mains, so I need to support these people. 15th and 16th, I need to individually talk to them. बहुत से लोगों का nervous breakdown हो रहा होता है. This is the time that we have to push them to give their best. So I needed this time to help them also. So different students I have to support in different ways. You are beginners, and you've seen that I've been working with them. So mains वालों के लिए भी I need to dedicate 2 days for them. Is everyone okay? And this also gives me an opportunity to screen new people for the next round. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care. No special class on environment today, but in the coming days, if possible, I will try and keep.